The top 5 most racist movies ever made. Number 5 is Breakfast at Tiffany's.
I protest!
Oh, darling.
Now, I did some research and I found these 5 films to be the most fascinating because I believe some of them are very racist and some of them are not. Breakfast at Tiffany's certainly falls into the category of racist, and all of this falls on the shoulders of Mickey Rooney's performance as Mr. Yoshiano, or whatever his name is. It's so offensive, not funny in the slightest. Later on, Blake Edwards, the director of the film, did apologize for this sort of over-the-top portrayal, and unfortunately, these instances do show up in his career at other times.
Birdie num num. Birdie num num. Birdie num num.
Now, this film, unfortunately, is bogged down by this performance, which is so sad because it's a Hollywood classic that has so many great things going for it. I mean, Audrey Hepburn's iconic looks, the beautiful song Moon River, which won an Academy Award, the cinematography is gorgeous, and it's a time capsule of the 1960s, but it's like this weird tumor on this movie, Mickey Rooney. Number 4 is Holiday Inn.
Abraham.
Now, this film I grew up watching. If you didn't know, the song White Christmas originates from this film, not the film White Christmas. They recycled it for that movie. You know, blackface was used periodically throughout these sort of early Hollywood films. Even Judy Garland in 1939 in the film's Babes in Arms was put in blackface.
Coming for to carry me home.
She was merely a 15, 16-year-old child filming this movie. It predates The Wizard of Oz only by a few months. And poor Judy, I mean, she was put through so much. All the pills, and then you're gonna slap her in blackface? Like, come on, give her a break.
And the pappy reads Esquire with delight.
Number 3 is Gone with the Wind. Now, the accusations of racism for this come from people saying that it glorifies life on the plantation, glorifies life in the South and the Confederate Army. I do not think this film is racist.
I sure is glad you've come.
It pivots around Scarlett O'Hara, who is kind of a character that is everything that was wrong with that era, particularly with white, wealthy people who owned slaves in the South. And, you know, she owns a plantation and slaves. She treats her house servants like garbage. She's a terribly selfish person throughout the entire film and is struggling to maintain relationships with other human beings. Scarlett O'Hara ends in tragedy. She does not end in glory. And this is important to remember. And so, yes, we are seeing a portrayal of slave owners of the Civil War from the perspective of the Confederate Army, but it is not glorified in any which way. It is actually done in such a classy, gorgeous way that we are able to, as the viewer, kind of objectively watch it and just see how awful things were back then. Number 2 is Blazing Saddles.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Now, this film came up a lot, and when I made this video on TikTok, people were commenting it like crazy, and I want to come to this movie's defense, okay? Yes, is there a lot of bigoted language in the film? Certainly, but guess what? There was a lot of bigoted language in history, particularly in the time period that this film is portraying. This film is a commentary on racism and the way people treated African Americans in that sort of Western era.
Hey, where are the white women at?
Which is similar to that era of Gone with the Wind. We're not far off in terms of the years here. If you're too sensitive to it, maybe don't watch it. If you like this list and want more, subscribe, hit that bell or whatever you're supposed to do. Also, check out the Patreon link we got. You can be a supporter of Samantha and I and our relationship and this page. Leave a comment with the most racist movie in your book. Finally, at number 1, we have the granddaddy of racist cinema, Birth of a Nation.